Welcome to my channel. This is Amanda with Crafting with Amanda, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber and you are familiar, thank you so much. It's because of you that I can continue to do these things or kind of have the motivation to do them. It's hard if you're just doing them for yourself. And after several months kind of hiatus, I am finally getting back to pairing photos with the layouts that were done but didn't have photos on them. They're from workshops, or this particular one I actually kind of remember making. It was an evening at the farmhouse. The kids were in bed. I wasn't ready, so I was winding down by doing a layout, and this paper, Chelsea Gardens, was left on my craft desk, and I just had some funs with a sponge blender, the mini blender applicator with the sponge on the end, and some sky blue ink, and I was just having fun creating a layout. So now I found these photos from back when I was in college. This was my dorm room door, and two other friends and myself, I had kind of created this picture on the door, and we ended up creating flowers and everything for it. So I just thought this layout worked well for it. And I'm showing you here how I make my flowers have some texture. And if you are unfamiliar with shaping of flowers, I did 3 videos in a series that do all different types of flowers. Some on the Cricut that you wind, that you roll up. Some of them that are very 3D. These that are just a little bit of kind of interest to them in the sense that they're rolled or crimped, or they're manipulated to give them more life. So all I did was curve the edges of each petal up. I pop dotted the center of this daisy flower, and now I'm going to cut some mats for the photos. And like I said about these photos, I created this with pastel chalks, this kind of like background on a piece of paper that I covered my door with. And then my neighbors, Monica, decided that it needed some flowers. So she had some cardstock. I think I had some cardstock. Nikki, who was another neighbor, she was an art student, and so she actually got out some paint, and we painted some papers, and we just cut out these rough flowers. Well, then we had Tula, like a tulip, and Monica got the idea that we should put her in different outfits. So as you can see on the screen, there's Tula Hula, and we had Tula in the AM with the rollers in her hair, and in the bathrobe we had Tula Donna, like Madonna, because that was popular back then. I think we even did for Halloween a Tula Gula. So you'll get to see some of these, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm just making an accordion fold. I can't even think what it's called. It's just a piece of cardstock that's going to be accordion folded, that's going to end up being a flap to hold more of the photos of Tula there on the right hand page. And at first I was trying to get it framed into that striped, I'm guessing that's a picture of my life card. I don't know for sure, because like I said, it's from several years ago that I did this. And then I realized that I can just offset it. It really doesn't have to be centered and square, and I can try to branch outside my norm. So that's exactly what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to glue these pictures down to the frames, and then put them on the mats that are already on the layout. So that's going to work on that one. And yeah, there's the Tula Hula. Oh, Tula Exec. I worked at a investment house as a part-time job when I was going into college, basically just filing the paperwork for people that did investments with mutual funds, and I worked with an agent and did copying when she needed to send documents out and things like that. And so I had to wear more business attire, so that's where the Tula Exec came from. And those letters are all hand cut. We didn't have a Cricut or any punches at that point. Who has money for that in college? So off screen, I went ahead and assembled all of the pink and the purple flowers, and I used the thin cut from Close to My Heart letters. It's available on the clearance, I think on the clearance section, like $28 for a whole set of letters and numbers, and decided to put dorm life, because this was one of the things that was fun. And then there's just a glimpse of the door that I did at Christmas time. I was kind of tired of Tula because that was for the fall, and so I had went ahead and put all of this, it looks like a brick fireplace, and then I painted some logs, and I was painting the grout lines between the bricks because it was just red pieces of paper, or it was, you know, a big red paper that I put on the door to cover. And I didn't even know it at the time, but my fireplace ended up winning first place in the decorate your door contest that I didn't know was happening. So I ended up getting a check for $75, and back in college in the 90s, that was really lots of money, and I was very excited to receive it. So now I'm just kind of auditioning the different flowers, and I'm realizing that I need to make sure that the flowers are adhered to the gray accordion cardstock so that it moves with the photos and doesn't accidentally make those that flap glued down, because we wouldn't want that. And then I'm kind of deciding where I want to put some of the other flowers. I'm taking a look, and I am going to realize that I need to put journaling to tell the story about Tula and how she came about, and also just to write the names of Monica and Nikki so that we remember that, you know, these were friends in college, and I spent hours, days, weeks, months with these two gals, and we just had a lot of fun. And I don't know if you noticed, but these leaf branches that I have, it's from a punch that I've had in my stash for a long time. Actually, I didn't even make them today. They were with the layout. They were like in between the page protector. So I must have thought that I was going to add them behind photos as I added those to this layout, or at least I had them as an option. So on those branches from a punch, I actually just kind of scooped out each of the leaves to make them have some shape. And they won't keep that shape fully when they're put in a book, but they definitely keep some of it. You know, they'll probably retain about 50% of it. So it still has some depth and interest even after these are in a book. So I went ahead and did my journaling that basically just talked about what I've already said, that in our evening when we were not the partiers. We kind of stayed, and I had a TV in my room, so a lot of times we would gather and either watch Disney movies that I had, or, you know, Wheel of Fortune was a big one when we were in college. Jeopardy was there too, but we didn't care about that. And we would make popcorn and just kind of play games and have fun. So as one of the things that we passed the time was making these flowers and decorating my door, which was a whole, you know, interesting way to spend some time. And I don't have the exact date. I don't remember which year it was in college, and I don't necessarily think that's as important as just getting down the names and the memories. So here's a close-up of the layout. It came together very quickly because the base pages were already done. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do that now. If you are, thank you again. I really do appreciate you. Here's another video you may be interested in if you want to click on it. Otherwise, have a great day and be a blessing.